Hey guys, what's up? Today I got a double header. This one is going to be a couple of CC matches, and if you don't know what Challenge Cup is, it's basically you get random Pokemon with random moves that they learn, and random IVs, random EVs, and you just go with it. So this program called CC for Wi-Fi, it's available on Smogon. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It was made by Antar 1011, who is actually the person I'm battling here, and yeah, so as you can see, like, it's just random moves, and most of the time you won't get stab attacks, and like a lot of the common sort of TMs that like most Pokemon learn, like Toxic and Swagger and Protect, you'll get a lot of that too. So it's really, I don't really see it as a sort of, there's no competitive value to it because again, Pokemon are random. You lead with your lead. It's basically like a roulette match, except you don't get to make your sets or EVs or IVs. So it's like it's totally random. The only thing that's not random is that like the Pokemon can't learn. Like you can't have everything with judgment. It only learns things that it has to learn. And Antar told me that it doesn't. His program doesn't check for like legality. So like you can have a Blissey with Wish and Aromatherapy, although those are technically illegal because you can't breed both of them on the same time. But it's you're not gonna get that. And I've done a few CC battles, whether with the CC for Wi-Fi or on PO, and you almost never get like a choice band or something or life orb. Oh god, it's mostly useless berries that reduce damage from a super effective attack that isn't super effective against you. Uh, get a lot of males, or occasionally you'll get like a freaking like sea incense or zap plate, or I've had an expert belt, which is probably the best item I got. But yeah, you won't get like leftovers or anything like that. Really, there's just too many items, and it's just all random. But as I was saying, like, I don't really see this as competitive because like you just basically use whatever shitty attacks you have. But it is entertaining, I feel. So that's why I did it. So he got a Wobbuffet, and it's funny because I got a Woobat with Toxic, which is going to kind of ruin his life because Toxic doesn't count for the Destiny Bond. So he's going to go down. Now he's got a Blissey, and I'm going to Toxic that too. But I think he's going to go for the Mimic here. Yes, he goes for the Mimic to get Toxic, and now I'm a little worried because I think he has Natural Cure. So now he's got a Blissey with Toxic, and he can pretty much stall me out. But I'm going to switch to my Cacturn because I was lucky enough to get. Wait for it, Superpower. I mean, I could have stalled him out, or I could have went into another Pokemon that you'll see later. But yeah, it's Superpower is funny to hit a Blissey with a super effective fighting attack and just watching it die. Um, but yeah, oddly enough, I've gotten Raikou. I think two out of the three times I've done Challenge Cup for Wi-Fi, which is weird. And I guess I should talk about that too. If you don't know how to use it, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to where to find it. But it's really easy. I mean, you basically you download the file, you extract it or install it, whichever one it is. I don't remember. And there's an MS DOS application, or if you're using Mac, I guess it's like the equivalent, whatever. You just run it, and a little window will pop up, and it'll create 6 random PKM files. You load up Gen or Sav, and you put them into your save file, and then you just go. Etiquette wise, you're not supposed to look at your team in the generator because then you can see it's EVs, IVs, but it doesn't matter because as soon as you get into the battle, you can look at your stats. So you already like it doesn't matter if you have low EVs or low IVs because the stat is what's going to determine what you do. But yeah, and you're supposed to also cover up your top screen when you start the battle. That way you can't see their team. That way it's just totally random. And I got a Deoxys here, and I know his Pinplup is doing like no damage with frustration. So I'm gonna set up Reflect. He ends up doing 1 damage. So I just go for the Zen Headbutt. Another thing too is really Reflect is not useful because he's got a Starly left, which you would think would be physical, but he doesn't necessarily have physical moves. I mean, my Breloom here had Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Rock Slide, and Rock Smash, which is actually a pretty good set. You usually won't get things that good. I mean, I got Dual Stab, even though both of them are pretty weak. Um, and some decent coverage options. But yeah, so I just hit him with a Zen Headbutt, so I could have basically swept him with this Deoxys, but I figured not. So getting into the second battle, this one is against Elo. I had this battle yesterday on his stream. We had our first match. He got a Nidoking with Earthquake in his lead spot, and I had Darumaka, Litwick, Nidoran, Grimer, Raikou, and Poliwrath, but Poliwrath had Rock Slide and Headbutt, and Metronome, and I think like some useless status move, like whatever. So yeah, he basically swept me with his Nidoking. So we decided to have a rematch, and in this battle, at least I didn't get 5 Pokemon weak to Earthquake that he had on a fully evolved Pokemon with Stab. So it's a little better, but here I'm going to switch out, and this is hilarious. He's going to use Pluck, which is going to take my Lumberry and then Toxic me, and that's really annoying. I'm going to go for the Ice Fang, and it's not even going to take him out, which is kind of annoying, because, you know, you would think a fully evolved Ice Fang on him would, but he got the Roost as well, so this is like a freaking Toxic Stalling random set, and it works. But I'm going to get the Freeze, which is hilarious. I thought he might want to switch out here, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Crunch. Figure Ice Fang, well, it probably would have killed, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. As Elo put it after this battle, he's like, oh, now I have to go back to thinking. There's not much planning involved in this at all. Like, when you're having the battle, you just kind of use your strongest attack. You don't really predict switches that well, and it's like, because, again, you don't know their team, because there's no team preview. But yeah, I do get a crit on the Crunch, and he's going to go for the Dive to Toxic Stall me, which is hilarious. But I'm going to go into my Bayleaf. I figure I would be faster, because at least I'm fully evolved. So I'm going to go for the Protect, just because, you know, my hit would hit him anyways, right? But he actually is faster, and he gets off a Hurricane, and that is going to kill me, because Stab's super effective. And I'm like, fuck. I should have just went for the Bullet Seed. Die would have done, like, nothing. But that's fine. I'm going to go to my Zigzagoon and go for the Seed Bomb. This got an Expert Belt, as I was mentioning earlier, but it's not even going to take him out. He's going to get the Confusion and the hit. Remember, this is only 70% accuracy because it's not in the rain. I hit myself in Confusion, and he's going to poison me. I don't know why he didn't just go for the Dive, but yeah, that's fine. Now I snap out and hit him with a Seed Bomb, and he goes down finally. That Ducklet. It was funny because Elo was like, oh, I got a duck. And I'm like, what, Psyduck or something like that? And he's like, no, Ducklet. But yeah, I'm going to go for the Whirlpool here, and I made a comment. I said, getting bitches wet up in this bitch. So yeah, Whirlpool's just hilarious. But I figure it's the best chance I can do to do like a little bit of extra damage. But I got Sleep Powder too on this Executor, so that's excellent because I can put him to sleep. And he's got Black Sludge, which is so useless. Stupid Black Sludge. But I'm going to go for the Giga Impact, and that's going to not even take him out, but the Black Sludge will kill him. So that's fine. He's going to go into his Kingler here as I have to recharge. He actually wanted to die because then now he gets a free hit off on me while I have to recharge. But he goes for the Giga Impact himself and doesn't even take me out. Now he has to recharge. I'm going to go for the Sleep Powder, and it misses. I'm like, fuck. So I'm going to go for Endure, which is like never really that useful unless you have like Flail or Reversal, but here it's good because he's got Giga Impact, and I'm gonna survive that hit. So now he has to recharge and go for the Sleep Powder and miss again, which sucks. And at this point he's just gonna be all mud shotting in my face because, you know, it'll still kill me at 1 HP. But I'm gonna go into my third Grass type, which is funny because last time I got 5 weak to ground, now I got 3 weak to, well, they're the same type, so they're weak to, you know, flying and fire and ice and all that fine stuff. But he's going to get paralyzed, which he thought was better because of the Toxic. But I also have Swagger, so I got Parafusion going on. And I have Astonish, so that's Paraflinch Fusion on an Amoonguss. When's the last time you ever heard that happening? So he's going to hit himself. And it's funny because as soon as I pulled out Swagger, he's like, oh no, I've heard of how bad this is. And yeah, he's going to hit himself in Confusion 3 times in a row, take himself out thanks to the +2, and that's just hilarious. That is how Swagger works. It's so good. But he's got Attract on his Nidorino, which is faster than me. And as I said, last battle, he had a Nidoking and I had a Nidoran male. So now he's got a Nidorino. And I'm like, oh, guess what my last Pokemon is? And yeah, so he's going to mimic my Astonish as I am falling in love with this Nidorino. I'm going to keep Astonishing because I can't Toxic. And I don't really want to Swagger. So I'm going to switch out because he's going for Astonish. And that really does like no damage. And I've got a Nidorino too. So, you know, he had the fully evolved, I had the baby, and then now we both have the middle. So that's fine. I only have takedown though, which means I'm going to be taking more damage to myself, even though it's slightly stronger than Iron Tail, I believe. I think takedown's what, 90 or 85, and Iron Tail's like 80 or 85, I think. I don't know. When's the last time you used Iron Tail? Really? Um, but yeah, so now it's down to Amoonguss and Nidorino, and he's going to put me in Attract, and I'm gonna Effect Spore him and get him paralyzed. But he's got a Cherry Berry, which is hilarious because it's like you wouldn't expect a status Curing Berry other than Lum to actually take effect. But yeah, it did. So I finally get a Swagger off, and here's what's hilarious because he's gonna hit himself in Confusion and live. And I'm going to stay immobilized by love. He's going to then hit himself again in Confusion. So, you know, the last couple turns, like, really nothing happened. But Amoonguss is definitely MVP for that one. And the first one, I don't know, what, Deoxys or something like that. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed these matches because, especially that second one, that was fucking hilarious. We were laughing so much. Oh my god, I like, my face was hurting. Like, do you ever laugh so much where, like, it hurts because like you're smiling and laughing? It just, I don't know, it that my face was hurting and I was like, oh my god, that was so funny. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the randomness. Like I said, I really don't find these competitive, but it's fun, so I might do these every once in a while, maybe like every like once a week or two or whatever. But yeah, so I hope like I said, you guys enjoyed that because I certainly did. And I'll see you all guys next time.